been given to this many people ever. So, I think we have the numbers now. We really do have the numbers to show that this is pretty safe. And vaccines don't typically cause long-term problems.
That's the issue, that we don't know 2 years, 3 years, 5 years down the pike that you're not going to see people come up with various side effects. I mean, we're just hearing now about various respiratory problems, heart problems, etc. And does that change the medical science view of this?
I mean, again, it's going to be a continued surveillance, but the best data we have right now is that there is, a virus running its course that is significantly impacting, our lifestyle, our economics, our joy of life, and everything else. And we have something that can fix that problem, that can make it so that we can get out. You know what I mean? So, and the data on what we have so far is that it's completely safe. So, as to me, it's a no-brainer, but I get it. I mean, people are making the decision, it's impacted by emotions to some extent, impacted by, other things they've seen, other life experiences, and, it's fine. America is an individualistic society. We all get to do that. And at this point, I feel less bad about the people who are being exposed to those people. I mean, at this point, if you're at risk, it's your own business. If you wear a mask and you get sick or not, to some extent. But those immunocompromised people that have no choice, that they have a lower response rate, they're going to have to be more careful, and that's unfortunate. And we could help them, those of us who can get the vaccine. But if we choose not to, then, it's those immunocompromised people that will have to take responsibility for their own protection.
All right, and then one last final question. Do you see the COVID vaccine being given annually, like the flu shot and the pneumonia shot, which I take every year?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to predict. I mean, as things stand right now, there's enough frequency of variants that the answer, I think, is yes. But so far, none of the variants have fallen outside the scope of what this vaccine will protect you against. So it's possible that it may be longer than every year. It's possible that if we get enough people vaccinated and we kind of kill this thing off like SARS-1, stopped, then it's possible that we don't need it. But it is looking, all the evidence is pointing to the fact that this is going to be around to stay, that there will be variants. Hopefully not every year, but we may need booster shots, or we may need different vaccines in the future.
Got it. Jim, thank you, sir. Always good stuff. Coming up, a national holiday. Congress has made Juneteenth. But there's a lot more to that. And even a little bit of history about the Emancipation Proclamation, which you might not know about. That's all coming up. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Hey, this is Amy King. My dad passed along some great things, like a strong work ethic, a love of family and friends, and then he also passed along the King curse. That thing where you go through every name, including a family dog, before you get to the person you're actually calling for. Karen, Stephen, Robert, Chaucer, Amy? Yeah, I still have it to this day.
Happy Father's Day from KFI.
KSI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Challenge to Obamacare dismissed. I'm Layla Muhammad, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The Supreme Court has dismissed a challenge to the Affordable Care Act known as Obamacare. The justices left the entire law intact in ruling that Texas, other Republican-led states, and 2 individuals had no right to bring their lawsuit in federal court. The decision was 7-2. People in Southern California will be asked to voluntarily cut their power use tonight as CalISO has issued a flex alert. The CalISO says that the flex alert will run from 5 until 10. They say that people are being asked to pre-cool their homes, close their blinds and curtains to preserve cooler air, and set the thermostat to 78 degrees and not use big appliances. The Angeles National Forest has elevated its fire danger level to very high.
That means campfires can only happen in designated areas, and vehicles must stay on paved roads and never parked on dry brush or grass.
Thinking about coming into fire season so early, not just locally but across, start thinking about resource availability.
Chief Robert Garcia says extreme heat, record drought, and low humidity are causing concerns for firefighters. The elevated condition went into effect yesterday and comes more than a month earlier than usual. In Arcadia, Steve Gregory, KFI News.
And for more wildfire news, tune in to KFI this Sunday at 4 p.m. for a new special, A Season of Fire, hosted by Steve Gregory. People lighting fireworks in Long Beach this July 4th could face fines and fees from $5,000 to more than $20,000. Councilwoman Suli Soro says homeowners were calling for more punishments to stop all fireworks, which are already illegal in the city.
Residents who've been so active in advocating for active measure and stronger measures for us to be able to address the illegal fireworks.
The council has approved charging violators for the cost of first responders having to collect, store, and investigate the citation. Higher fines would be for violators caught with larger amounts of fireworks. A judge in LA says he's leaning toward letting SoCal Edison go ahead with plans to tear down buildings on the site of the former San Onofre nuclear power plant. The judge has issued a tentative ruling that says the California Coastal Commission acted properly in approving the dismantling project, despite a legal challenge by the Samuel Lawrence Foundation. President Biden is expected to sign a new federal holiday into law today. ABC's Faith Abube says the House passed a bill last night for the Juneteenth national holiday.
The Senate unanimously approved the bill earlier this week, and the House quickly taking up the matter and approving it with overwhelming bipartisan support just in time to mark the June 19th holiday this weekend.
Juneteenth is a mashup of June and 19th. That's the day in 1865 when the last slaves in Galveston, Texas kept they were free. The governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, says he will use $250 million in state money to help keep a border wall, to keep building a border wall, But Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar, whose district includes the border region, says he has his doubts about it.
I think politically it sounds good. Practically, it's not going to happen.
Cuellar says this is probably more about Abbott's re-election next year. And a new college football game to be played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood will be named after TV host Jimmy Kimmel. This is not a joke. The Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl will be between the winner of the Mountain West Conference and a team from the Pac-12. It will be played in December. Let's head to a problem on the 60.
Well, South El Monte on the 60 eastbound before Rosemead, that's where Jeff was talking about a vehicle fire was engulfed in flames. Now everything is starting to move over to the right shoulder because the fire's been put out, but it is still kind of heavy for you as you come out of Montebello. And insult to injury now in that backup at Garfield on the 60 east. The two middle lanes are blocked. Silver car spin out there. Somebody hit the center divider and bounced back into lanes. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Ball, 134.
Oh, well, we got some legitimate delays to warn you about now. This will be the westbound 134 and 101, leaving Burbank towards Encino and Terminal 12 back. Westbound, in between Coldwater and Woodman, got a lane blocked. Now, at times all lanes are blocked. It's actually the second lane from the left, but to clear, well, you know what happens after shut down all traffic. So the bottom line here, if you're leaving the KFI studios, it's back to the west, it's south from Hollywood Way all the way towards Woodman. Now, picking up Alameda, Riverside through Toluca Lake. You can get on the West 101 around Van Nuys Boulevard where Riverside ends. It's a very easy drive, real easy. And the transition of South 405, just a little slow. Eastbound side is looking pretty good, as is the 170 now, coming away from the 5 towards the Cahuenga Pass. All that's pretty good. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Bauer, KFI in the Sky.
East LA on the 710 south of Whittier Boulevard. There is a crash here. Left lane is blocked, and it is going to be a struggle from Caesar Shop as KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
Today's hot forecast next.
Points, and he had some help from hot shooting teammates like Marcus Morris.
George Bruce was right. Pick and pop. It's Morris. Open. Near side corner 3 on the way. Hands down. Marcus Morris. Money.
Morris contributed 25 points. Reggie Jackson was good for 22 as LA beat the Utah Jazz 119-111 to take a 3-2 game lead in the playoff series. The Clippers are now poised to make it to their first conference finals ever. All they have to do is win Game 6 tomorrow at Staples Center. I'm Wayne Radcliffe, KFI Sports.
Hello. Hi, Monica. I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and I'm calling to give you a random act of helpfulness.
Oh my gosh.
We heard you'd like help building a podcast studio.
Well, I'm putting together a small entrepreneur business.
Okay.
I'm currently unemployed due to pandemic. I wanted to start a podcast.
Oh, cool.
Just to set myself up a small studio where I'm able to put my ideas out there, as well as probably help others who have something to say and they just don't have an avenue to do it.
Well, Honda would like to help. We're going to get you the recording equipment you need.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Whew.
Today, we help start a podcast, and we can help you too. Right now, you can get 0% APR financing on an award-winning Honda SUV, like the 2021 HRV. Visit SoCalHondaDealers.com to find a helpful Honda dealer near you. For well-qualified buyers on approved credit through Honda Financial Services. Monica is a real person and was paid to be on the radio.
Hi, this is Larry Miller from Sit and Sleep. You know, there's a lot that's new at Sit and Sleep.
Yeah, like me. Hi, I'm Drew Miller, Larry's son, and I'm proud to be the third generation of the Miller family to work at Sit and Sleep.
Only Sit and Sleep has Bed Match that scientifically recommends the right mattress for you.
Plus, you can shop the way you want, in-store, online, or a combination of the two.
And we'll beat anyone's advertised price or your mattress is free!
You still got the pipes, Dad.
Thanks, son.
The KFI Financial Report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow is down 202 points, S&P down 3, NASDAQ up 101. Gold is $17.81 an ounce and oil $71.81 a barrel.
The KFI Money Report is brought to you by Bay Alarm. Protect your business with a networked video surveillance system. Visit bayalarm.com to get protected today.
Southland weather from KFI. Sunny skies for your Thursday with highs in the triple digits for the valleys, the Inland Empire, and the High Desert. Upper 80s to low 90s for the Basin and Inland OC. Upper 70s to around 80 along the coast. Low 90s in the mountains. We have a cooling trend moving in this weekend with highs in the 80s and 90s inland. Right now it's 67 in Irvine, 61 in Dana Point, 75 in Riverside, 71 in Beverly Hills. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Layla Muhammad.
All right. And good morning. Bill Handel here on a June 17th. It is Thursday and it is hot. We are in the middle of a massive heat wave. Today's going to be the hottest day. Flex alert has been issued. Temperatures are so hot, as we've had before. Keep your thermostat 78 degrees or above. Don't use your appliances, especially because it's from 5 to 8 5, I think 10 o'clock tonight. All right, rather important stuff has happened. The House passed a bill to make Juneteenth a federal holiday, June 19th, and it commemorates it commemorates the freeing, and that's in quotes, of the last slaves in the United States after the Civil War. It really recognizes that's when they were told that they were free, and it recognizes that day as, okay, now everybody in the country knows. In Galveston, Texas, about a month after the Civil War ended, and General Gordon Granger arrived on the island of Galveston to take command of federal troops and to let everyone know that slavery is done and finished. All right, so that's the day. It's an important day, to say the least, in terms of the history of the United States. And it is being recognized now as a national holiday. But, you know, the reality is, the reason it was a unanimous consent in the Senate, where all the ayes say aye, okay, everybody screams, the nays, no one stands up or no one objects. By the way, it only takes one senator to object to a unanimous consent. So, Senate already passed it. The House passed it, and there were 13 or 14 Congress people who voted no, all the way from, gee, it costs another $600 million a year because it's a federal holiday, to crazy stuff that it really isn't about recognizing that slavery was over. It's really part of this massive conspiracy among Democrats to redo American thinking, and they really don't care about black people. It really is just changing how we look at America, and we're not going to let you do that, part of that crap. So I want to get into why this is not such a huge deal, and it is symbolically, but that's the point. It is more symbolism than anything else. It is certainly a recognition, a day that commemorates the final freedom of the slaves, which I think is critically important for us to know about. But in big picture, I mean, does it do anything other than recognize the day? Does it change voting rights, for example? Because among those senators who voted yes in the unanimous consent vote, there are senators that are just fine with the states passing laws that are called voter suppression, but restrict the ability of certain members of society to vote. Make it more difficult to vote. And here is where the Supreme Court's going to get very interesting, because, of course, lawsuit after lawsuit has been filed. And even if the intent is not to suppress the vote, because I guarantee you, every one of those that are voting against the voting rights bill, there were two of them, and they voted against one of them, they'll tell you it has nothing to do with racism. It has to do with the security of the vote. Because that's the crowd that believes that Joe Biden shouldn't be president and Donald Trump actually won the presidency because of lack of security and the fake votes that came in, even though there's zero evidence that fraud occurred on any scale whatsoever. And so let's give them the benefit of the doubt that they're not a bunch of racists. They're looking at this for security, which, of course, is a bunch of crap. Here's the problem legally they're going to have. Even unintended racism is illegal. And if it turns out during the next election, for example, that it becomes much more difficult to vote, which it does, IDs and shortened voting periods and mail-in ballots that have to be requested, all of the issues that make it harder to vote by everybody, by the way. It doesn't say blacks have to show ID versus white people, where constitutionally before it used to happen that way. But if it turns out that it is de facto fewer black votes, then those folks have, these people who are passing those laws have a big issue. Even though they're arguing that really is for security, because I think their argument is a fraud. I think it's all political. It has to do with making it more difficult to vote, and it affects minorities more than it does whites. And so that's real. Those are real issues. Juneteenth, as important as it is an easy pass. Because you can say, hey, I'm in favor of the recognition of the end of slavery, and I can be as conservative as I want, and I'm going to be voting for all of these measures that make it more difficult to vote, particularly minorities. But look at me. I voted for making June 19th a federal holiday. That's why it's an easy one. That's why big picture, to me, it's more symbolism. All right, coming back, you know what? I want to do a little bit of history. I want to do a fun history segment. Handle history. Maybe change your mind a little bit about Abraham Lincoln, actually. This is KFI AM 640. Let's check in with Layla Muhammad.
We've been talking about this throughout the morning. Cal ISO has issued a flex alert, and it's asking folks to voluntarily cut their power use tonight from 5 until 10. Cal OSHA is set to approve revised worksite pandemic rules that allow fully vaccinated employees the same freedoms they have when they're off the job. And the number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose last week for the first time since April. Jobless claims rose 37,000 from the week before. We're checking out some trouble on the, I guess we're going back to the 60 next.
Sign on the line, Inc. DBH Your Mortgage is a fair housing lender. NMLS 1626699.
Some wild things happened in home lending while we were filling in for Handel. The government came out with a new program for homeowners that may have missed out on the lowest rates in lending history.
The government enacted a program just days ago giving homeowners relief on refinancing their homes this very minute.
It's called Refi Now, and millions of homeowners are eligible. You can call True Mortgage, 866-33-FASTER, or go to truenow.com right now. See if you qualify for this government program.
Here's the thing, it literally takes less than 5 minutes to see if you qualify. This program has one of the biggest government breaks regarding mortgage qualification guidelines ever.
It's true, credit requirements have been loosened by the federal government and rates have been reduced even lower, even for those who are self-employed.
If you're a homeowner and missed out on the lowest rates or couldn't refi, this is your time, but do it today before the program runs out.
Give them a call, 833-66-FASTER, or go to truenow.com, 833-66-FASTER, or dial pound 250 and say True Mortgage. That's pound 250, True Mortgage.
Your neighborhood grocery outlet has all your favorite brands at incredibly low prices. This week, get the grill going with delicious John Morrell meat franks. 12-ounce packages are buy one, get one free.
Sunny skies by this afternoon, highs. Actually, the sunshine's already out there now. So sunny skies, highs around 90 to the triple digits inland. We have a nice range. 70s along the coast. This report brought to you by Grocery Outlet. Let's check traffic and BKFI in the sky.
Well, we do have the 60. We've got the 60 at Rosemead Boulevard, eastbound side of the 60. I had a big car fire here. Now, everything is out of lanes. Everything's to the right shoulder. They've got a flatbed tow on scene. Still going to find just a little bit of rough driving from about Wilcox. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by entry attorney superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Fox with the 5.
Yeah, just want to give you a little heads up now. If you're driving the North 5, this is the Golden State Freeway up through Burbank. It's been a fairly good drive, but I was a little concerned. As a matter of fact, I thought I was looking at a fire, but we went to look at it. Northbound 5 at Lancaster. That's a little bit before you merge with the North 170. It's a Caltrans sweeper train going on, and boy, they're picking up so much dirt. It's just amazing. So just a little heads up. If they continue, it'll be just the right lane. So it's still a pretty good drive. Now, South 5 has been a tough morning. Earlier, the South 5 in between the 134 and East LA, we had a slew of problems blocking lanes, excuse me. But all lanes are open now. It's just a pretty slow drive. Also, the southbound 101 coming out of the Quanca Pass. Now that Santa Monica Boulevard down to the 4 level, just warning, drive slow. Believe it or not, all lanes are open. Injured in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff Ball, KFI in the Sky.
We're going to crash in East LA, 710 South at Whittier Boulevard. Left lane's taken away here, and quite a challenge for your drive from the 10. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by iAccidentLawyer.com.
iAccident Lawyer, actual client. I was hit on a motorcycle by a truck, resulting in serious leg injury. My first lawyer downplayed it. Then I called iAccidentLawyer.com. They got me $8 million, bought my first home of cash, and I got savings for the rest of my life. Thank you, iAccidentLawyer.com.
Attorney Robert Koenig, results vary, not a guarantee.
At Cedars-Sinai, we're right here for Los Angeles. Here for the inpatients, the outpatients, and the new patients too. Here to educate, one question at a time. Here to innovate through research and specialized treatment. Here to help with over 2,000 community volunteers. Here to heal with more than 250 locations in Southern California. It's why we've been here for over 100 years. And it's why we're right here if you need us. Cedars-Sinai, we're right here.
Summer is here and it is getting hot.
Hey, you know what else is hot? The money that I'm saving with SolarMax technology.
Without upfront cost?
Yeah, that's because SolarMax does everything themselves under one roof right here in Southern California. Exceptional quality control and no middleman.
Right now, SolarMax is only $69.98 a month, which includes a solar panel system and a home battery, and an APR as low as 0.99%. This offer expires June 30th.
Dial pound 250 on your cell and say SolarMax, or go to solarmaxtech.com. Monthly payment available on approved credit. CSLB number 97204.
Get it for hugs. Get it for date nights, for live music, home games, and haircuts. Get it for eating at your favorite restaurant, for grandma's birthday, for graduation. Get it for your loved ones and the essential workers. Get it for all of us. When it's available to you, Blue Shield of California encourages you to get the COVID-19 vaccination. Get it for California.
Hi, it's Dr. Wendy Walsh. You probably heard the term quarantine 15, but the actual average American gained 29 pounds. If your weight got out of control, it's time to call West Medical and experience the Da Vinci X, this ultra minimally invasive robotic surgical system with hyper precision to weight loss surgery and a faster recovery, and it's covered by most PPO insurance. Set up a free same-day phone consult today. Call 1-800-WEST-MED or visit westmedical.com.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Results will vary depending on procedure selected and adherence to program.
Have you been putting off life insurance for a while? With the long application process, medical exams, and blood tests, it's no wonder you put it off. It can seem so confusing, expensive, and time-consuming. But Ethos is a new way to buy life insurance. Ethos is built with you in mind. Instead of a medical exam, you only have to answer a few health questions. Our application is 100% online and can be done in about 10 minutes. You might even get same-day coverage. At Ethos, we match you with the right policy and the right price from top-rated carriers, with no medical exams and no blood tests. Now you can spend less time sorting through confusing paperwork and more time with the loved ones you want to protect. Go to ethoslife.com today to apply in minutes. That's ethoslife.com. Ethos Technologies Inc. operates in some states as Ethos Life Insurance Services. Not available in all states.
The best summer plans start at Toyota's We Make It Easy sales event, where right now you can get great savings on some of our most popular models, like $1,000 factory cash back on a stylish and reliable Corolla. Plus, there are new Toyotas arriving daily, from fuel-efficient hybrids and versatile SUVs to our legendary trucks. So see your Toyota dealers today. Let's take delivery from model year 2021 new car dealer stock by midnight July 6th.
So, run this by me again. You took your used car to a Toyota dealer and they bought it.
Yep.
And it wasn't a trade-in for a new Toyota?
Nope.
They paid you on the spot.
Top dollar, baby.
Who does that?
And it wasn't even a Toyota.
Really?
Hey, where you going? Where do you think?
Turn your used car into cash at your Toyota dealer. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
I go weeks without writing an email to anybody. I don't like typing.
You're not trapped with a phone call.
You're supposed to say I gotta go, which is fine, but sometimes I can't do that.
No, I gotta go really worse. Like you have to pee.
John and Ken.
Right, I make it sound like I have a terrible style movement. I'm gonna really listen to on KFI.
History has its lies.
AM 640 on a Thursday morning, June 17th. Heat wave, I mean a big one. And today's going to be the worst day. And by the way, I want to talk about people. Now, just a quick mention, there's no climate change, right? Storms coming up the Gulf Coast. We're in the middle of the worst drought we've had. It's a big, epic drought, but there's no climate change. The Congress and the Senate has passed the federal law now that makes June 19th, Juneteenth, a federal holiday. I talked about that before. So, and then the politics of it, because a lot of that is politics, and that was in the previous segment. But it reminds me of, and I want to do a little history segment here, because this is kind of fun, and maybe you'll change your mind a little bit about Abraham Lincoln. The other day, we knew this bill was going to come forward, and there was a local news reporter who went up to a bunch of people and said, when I say the word Abraham Lincoln, what do you think of? And virtually all of the African Americans say he freed the slaves. I got news for you folks. He only freed the slaves that were in states that were in rebellion. That was it. This was not Abraham Lincoln making a moral decision about slavery. It was a wartime measure. That was it. It was all about reducing the ability of the southern states to rebel. Nothing more, nothing less. And I want to say something to you. Although towards the end of the war, and the Emancipation Proclamation, he did believe morally that slavery was terrible. That I guarantee you. That was part of his moral being. I also want to tell you Abraham Lincoln was a racist. Never once did he ever mention equality between whites and blacks, ever. And as a matter of fact, he believed the races were unequal. Truly. That black folks were subservient to and not as good as whites. That whites were superior, both in thinking and in the ability to be promoted or better themselves. He just didn't care. I mean, he was a genuine racist. What he did is believe that slavery was immoral, that no human being should own another human being. That was part of his moral core. But it ended there. And it was only towards the very last that he believed that African Americans should be able to vote. He was okay with that. But as far as education, as far as jobs, as far as treating people equally, that was off the table. Now, you also have to take in historical terms, in context. Had he said that the races were equal, this man would, his political career would have stopped right there. And the man ran for president and Congress and Senate, and he was a realist. But as the politics are on Juneteenth, and you have to look at a lot of the senators and Congress looking at this more as a political saw, and it's an easy one, as I explained. This doesn't change anything other than the recognition of the end of slavery. And it's easy to recognize the end of slavery. Now, let's get serious about people's right to vote. We're fine with suppression of the vote. But I voted for Juneteenth. So, you know, keep in mind that it all has political ramifications. And the Emancipation Proclamation really was only a wartime measure. That's it. It started and stopped at that point. Because, first of all, it's only the states in rebellion, right? It exempted Tennessee, a slave state, portions of Virginia, Louisiana that were occupied by the Union, left slavery untouched in the border states of Maryland, Delaware, Kentucky, and Missouri, because he didn't want to offend those states and have them move over to the South. So, you know, let's look at reality here. I mean, the man became a deity. Matter of fact, the man became a deity exactly one day after he was assassinated. That's when he was no longer a human being. So, Civil War. Love this history stuff. We're coming back, and we'll start handling the news late edition. In the meantime, let's check in with Layla Mohammed in the KFI newsroom.
The Affordable Care Act has fended off a challenge in the U.S. Supreme Court for the third time. Constitutional lawyer Kate Shaw says it's likely the last time the High Court will take up a major challenge to Obamacare.
The legislature is where future battles about health care are likely to play out rather than the courts and the Supreme Court in particular.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2 that Republican-controlled states trying to overturn Obamacare lack the standing to sue because there is no injury to them. Justice Stephen Breyer, writing the majority, says that the potential injury was removed when Congress repealed that tax penalty for anyone who opted out of buying health insurance. The OC grand jury has called for all jail personnel to get regular COVID-19 tests as part of several security concerns listed in a new report.
The annual report found a plexiglass barrier would better protect staff from the general public. More security cameras could help prevent contraband during bond and attorney visits. And a brick wall instead of just a fence should be installed between the Theo Lacey facility and an abandoned animal shelter.
There are always opportunities for an increase in security.
OC Sheriff spokeswoman Carrie Braun says the report did find the jails to be in overall compliance.
They commended the efforts of the staff to meet the behavioral health needs of the inmates in custody.
In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
LA County DA George Gascon is setting up an independent team to re-examine fatal use of force cases by law enforcement. He says law enforcement officials, civil rights attorneys, activists, and others have all raised concerns about the handling of many police use of force cases. Gascon says the independent group will review evidence and make recommendations on cases that may need to be looked at more closely. A woman in Louisiana who put that Gorilla Glue in her hair has turned the ordeal into a business.
Jessica Brown now has her own hair care line called Forever Hair, which can be bought online. Brown told TMZ she's been working with hair care professionals on the products, and unlike Gorilla Glue, which is not meant to be used on skin or hair, her products wash out. Brown's ordeal with the glue went viral in February. She spent 22 hours in the ER, but nothing got the glue out. She eventually went to a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. The procedure to get rid of the glue took 4 hours. The doctor did the treatment for free. Deborah Mark, KFI News.
A crash on the 405.
Westchester 405 North and Howard Hughes Parkway has been here for a little while, but we still do have the left lane blocked with a crash they're trying to clear. You're going to find the stop and go from Manchester Boulevard as you make your way through that stretch. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by injury attorney Superlocal and Superlawyer.com. Jeff Law checking on the 710.
Yeah, problems never stop on the old 710 here. First, we'll cover the northbound side. Now, before you get up to the 5, it was the very end of the acceleration lane from the Washington on-ramp to the north 710. That's where the issue was, and we just watched. It was a kind of a saw got towed away by FSP. So all lanes are open now. If you're coming out from the 105 right now, it is going to be kind of slow from Florence, but at least all lanes are open. And the transition to the north 5, that is in good shape. Now, another transition, been big trouble now. This is the westbound 60 transition to the south 710. Nothing but rigs on it in the morning. The very end of the transition, just before you get on the southbound 710 itself, the left lane is blocked. That's what this is all about. And particularly the right lanes of the west 60, boy, it's stopped really coming away from Garfield. If you're headed to the East LA interchange, stay as far left as you can. Injured in an accident, visit Superwoman, Superlawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
Riverside 215 northbound at Blaine. The 2 left lanes blocked with a crash. Heavy traffic for you beginning at Cactus. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Bay.
With Kawhi Leonard sidelined by a knee injury, the rest of the Clippers lineup rose to the occasion. Paul George put up 37 points, and he had a lot of help from hot shooting teammates like Marcus Morris.
George moves to his right. Pick and pop. It's Morris open. Near side floater 3 on the way. And it's down. Marcus Morris. Money.
Morris contributed 25 points. Reggie Jackson was good for another 22. And LA beat the Utah Jazz 119-111. They take a 3-2 game lead in the playoff series, and they're poised to make it to their first conference finals ever. All they have to do is win Game 6 tomorrow at Staples Center. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
I keep a bottle of water next to my bed on the bedside, and normally I let it run way down. I notice, oh my God, I'm out of water.